Yeah. I'm waking up super slow this morning. Back to our happy Saturday Blab Fest, I guess, whatever you want to call it. Waking up super slow. I did all those days at the gym. So I needed a day to sleep all the way in, dude. Anyway, I'm slowly waking up. You all are witnessing me get my first energy of the day. Hello, we got a couple of you in here. How's everybody doing? Good morning. We got Long Island in the house. There's a couple more of you in here. Anybody else? Good morning from Las Vegas. Good morning. Good evening. I hope you like dreaming. You live and learn and you learn to live. It's positive and negative. I can't sleep, but I dream big. Good evening. I love that song. Now watch, it's gonna be stuck in my head all day. Anyway, what's going on with y'all? Anybody got anything cool going on? Cooler than me? Cooler than my boring ass that just sits around at home all day? Well, we got Canada in the house, okay. We got the whole planet tuning in. Oh, man. Yeah, no, anybody got anything cool going on this weekend? I don't think we do. I'm pretty sure we're just going to be boring and sit at home all weekend. My daughter actually is going to a sleepover with one of her friends today. Other than that, I'm going to be at the house picking strawberries. There you go. That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. Sounds like something that if they had something like that out here, we could do that. We're always finding some little random family adventure, you know? So I don't think we're going to, though. Oh, hell yeah, Rich and Leah are still together. Are you kidding me? You damn Skippy. We're engaged now. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Me and Leah get tighter and tighter and tighter over time, you know? That's the cool thing about being with her that I've never experienced with any type of connection, period. I don't care if it's friends, romance, nothing. I've never experienced a connection that gets tighter over time. You know, usually you have a connection with somebody and it kind of either gets stagnant or it just gets weaker and weaker and weaker over time, you know? So, not me and her. Even through every little challenge, if we experience some sort of challenge, you know, we overcome it and get stronger and tighter. That's my favorite part about it, man. That's why. It's my favorite part about it. Oh. So, anywho, let me get some incense going. Oh. Let's get some incense. Do. Oh, now it's starting to get hot in this room. I keep forgetting about that. I've only been up for like maybe 10 minutes before I came on here. I got Om incense. This stuff smells good, dude. I got it on Amazon. I have a ridiculous abundance of incense over there. I always got to be burning it while I'm doing my readings. And I've switched to this spot right here. Started going a little bit stir crazy. You know, after a while, if you are the type of person, whatever you do, I don't know, I don't care if you're self-employed, but especially if you're self-employed and you sit at home all day, you can go stir crazy. Oh yeah, you can. You gotta start changing up the environment, you know, making things look different. So I took everything off of my table up there and I moved it over here. This is just kind of like, it's extremely cluttered right now though. I'll go ahead and show you, I don't care. It is extremely cluttered. This is my spot now. Extremely cluttered, but I moved everything from my table over there to right here. This is just like a little hangout spot. Kind of like I mean, this is basically just like an upstairs living room that we didn't know what to do with for the longest time, and finally turned it into my studio, the YouTube room. There's a little coffee machine over there, you know. So I was like, man, I gotta have some kind of change. I gotta switch things up. I'm going nuts. So I'm back on my phone now. Isn't that funny? I did all that bitching to get a webcam and a computer and a microphone and everything like that to get up off my phone. Now I switch back to my phone, but it's just temporary. That's the cool thing. I have the freedom to switch things up, and you know, if I want. But anyway, and I think I was talking about this, was it yesterday or the day before? The last time I chatted when I went to the gym. It's funny because, among many reasons, but one of the things that was guiding me to get off of working on my phone is that people would complain that they couldn't see the cards. You know, people would complain that they couldn't see the cards. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to get me a nice webcam or whatever, a camera that has a big wide view that you can see everything that I'm doing. Then when I started doing that, everybody's complaining because it feels like I'm too far away. You know, I was like, man, dude. Damned if I do, damned if I don't, you know? But anyway. Yeah, I got me some sage. I ain't got all that other stuff, but I do got sage. I got white sage. Well, I have white sage, some dragon's blood sage, and this other stuff that for those of you locals, for those of you who live here in Vegas or Henderson or whatever, in the mall, in the Galleria at Sunset, they had this really super cool, it's like a little stand in the middle of the mall, but it's called Gaia, you know, or Gaia Energy or whatever. It's like a little spiritual store that's just a little stand, you know, and they sell like crystals. I think they got a few decks of tarot cards, and got all kinds of crystal jewelry, and they sell these really cool little sage bundles, and I'm pretty sure they make them. Like they take the sage bundle and they wrap like these rose petals and sweetgrass around with it. And we always go there and pick those up. I don't know the sage that I'm using now, though. I actually got this from an old high school friend. An old high school friend. I'm friends with her on Facebook, and she was posting, she lives off grid now or whatever. You know, she's one of those people doing that thing where you just go live off grid and kind of live off the land for the most part. And, you know, and it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. It's fascinating. You know, it's always fascinated me. And she posted one day that she's drying a bunch of sage bundles. And I was like, oh, damn, you sell them? She goes, yep. I said, shit, man, how much? She said, like, 4 of them for like $28 or something like that. And I was like, damn, some of these shops around here will charge you that much for one. I said, all right, give me 4 of them, you know? So that's pretty cool. Anyway, we're babbling about sage. Do I enjoy living in Vegas? Oh, man. It's such a hard question to answer. I know I touch on this a lot of times here. When we first moved here, I hated it. Couldn't stand it because it was not my idea to move here. It wasn't either of our ideas to move here. We needed to upgrade to something bigger because we got the kids. Got my kids back. Those are my kids. Some people don't understand that. When I posted those pictures on Instagram, people were like, oh, I thought you were the stepdad. No. Those are my kids. We got them back. Me and Leah were living in a little teeny weeny apartment, and we needed to upgrade. And this was right when all the lockdowns hit. And we couldn't find a place anywhere that would let us in. You know? Couldn't find a place anywhere. All up and down Arizona, all up and down California. So she just said, well, what about Vegas? They got some nice houses out there. I was like, well, at this point, it doesn't matter. We just need a bigger place, you know? This was the first house that would just let us in. And I hated it. I couldn't stand it when we first moved here because it's so fucking crowded, you know? Just so many fucking people. On an average day, you go out and go to the store and it feels like fucking rush hour. And you know what I mean? It's just, I hated it. But since we've been here, this past April was a year that we've been here. It's growing on me now. And I don't want to say that I necessarily enjoy it, not really enjoy it, but it's grown on me to the point to where I feel like I'm at home now. This here is the most stable spot that I have been in my entire adult life. You know, this is the first time I've ever been in one place for longer than a year in my whole adult life, you know? So even the last time that I was in a kind of a stable place for about a year and a half, we still kind of moved around a few different buildings and whatnot. And I didn't have my ID there and nothing like that. But, you know, we both got our IDs at this address. My kids are in the school systems and we've been planted in this one spot for over a year now. So it's grown on me. I have that at home feeling. You know what I mean? My kids were in Louisville, Kentucky before I got them back with their mom. And that was a very ugly situation. And I had to go get them. I had to go get them and save them from that shit they were in at the last moment, boy. I can't go into too many personal details about that, but I was telling y'all yesterday on my chat that I didn't really understand how bad it was until CPS called me, you know? Bad. Anyway, though. Leah's asleep. She's sleeping. Sleeping. Mm. What do you mean I do anything for my kids? Oh, yeah. It's a statement like you do anything for your kids. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was like that divine timing, you know? Because throughout this whole process, I had to go 3 years without seeing him. You know, because I was real unstable. I was in no headspace or no position to be a dad to him, you know, and I had to go having no clue when I'd see him again next, you know, and every time I would try to arrange visiting them, something would get in the way. Every time I would try to arrange having them come see me, something would get in the way. It was like universe was saying, nope, not yet. Nope, not yet. And at that point, like I said, I had lost everything to the point to where all I had was a relationship with my intuition. So anytime a wall would come up when I'm doing anything, I don't care what it is. Okay, I see. I'll try again later, you know. And then right there and this is how divine the timing was. Her family hit me up at the end of 2019. It was in December, I think. Maybe even November. I don't remember. I think it was in December, the beginning of December. And we booked a flight for the very first day of 2020. January 1st, 2020 is the day that I went out there and I had them on a plane flying back. We were in Arizona at the time, but man, looking back on that, whoa, talk about some divine ass timing, you know what I mean? Divine ass timing. Oh yeah, yep. It tells you when everything is right. Yeah, I know. I tell people that all the time. One of the questions, well, I can't say the question, but one thing people like to come to me and ask me a lot for personal readings is something to the effect of, should I go look for another job? Should I pick up and move, you know? And I'll pull a spread for it, but I'll always tell you the same thing before I pull the spread. Just take this with you on your journey. Try it. Try it. That'll tell you real quick whether or not you should. Oh yes, try it. If you keep hitting wall after wall after wall after wall, that means no. Back off. Maybe go back and try it later, but for now, back off. That means no. If you walk up to that metaphorical door and it opens and you're able to pass through, yes. That means you are now permitted to enter into this new chapter if you choose to. You know what I mean? It's very, very simple. And I had to learn this on my journey, you know? Like I said, this is the first time I've been stable in my whole adult life for years, maybe 5 years or so. I was living by the seat of my pants. I don't know. I could wake up and have to move to the other side of the country tomorrow. I don't know. I could wake up and my whole life, the whole rug could get ripped out from under me at any given moment. And it would, a lot, very frequently, you know, very, very frequently. You have no choice but to listen to this in here when you're living like that all the time. You have no choice but to listen to this in here. And I'm bouncing around from state to state, to city to city, to bounce, to bounce, to bounce, to bounce, and meeting different people all over the damn country and all over the place. And you get a real strong sense of how to listen to this thing in here, you know? And yeah, hang on, y'all. I gotta take y'all out there with me to go turn the AC on. I'm starting to pour sweat in here. I should have done this before. Should have done this before I came on. Okay, now I'm gonna turn the fan on. My legs, man. Coach Drew got me doing that athleticism, though. That athleticism, though. My biggest fear. Hang on, I'm gonna adjust my tripod real quick. There we go. I like that better. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's gonna be so hot this summer. Yes, I know. Yesterday was 108 here in Vegas. Sucked. That's the thing I was just telling my kids yesterday. I was like, I can't wait for winter time. They're like, why? I don't like this heat. I'm not quite adjusted. I'm getting more used to it. I'm dealing with it better now. I've been here for a year. I've lost close to 50 pounds in the past year. Last year when I was real fat and real out of shape, it sucked even worse than it does now, you know? But yeah, I'm not big on the heat. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, you open the door to the outside, it feels just like you're opening the oven to check on your food. Swear, dude. Out here in the desert, dude, oh man. Yep, 50 pounds so far, Yep, 50 pounds so far. I'm not looking at the actual number on this. I have lost about 50 pounds as far as the number on the scale goes, but Coach Drew puts me on this thing that measures everything in my body. It's this weird thing. I take my socks off, I put my feet on these metal plates, and then I grab these little things, and I got to put my thumb on this sensor, and it's this really funky looking scale thing. And it tells you everything about everything that's going on inside my body. You know, how much muscle I have, how many pounds of fat each leg has, and all that shit or whatever, you know. It's kind of complicated. I don't know how to read it. He does. But I've lost probably more than that as far as fat goes. But the number on the scale, I'm putting muscle on too, you know. So I don't know. I think it's probably been more than 50 pounds of fat maybe. But I still have about 20 more pounds of body fat to get rid of. It's all right here, my belly. The belly. This is where it's like clinging for dear life. Like I done shed all the fat off my face and off of everything else. Now down here on my belly, it's clinging for dear life. And it's good that now he's got me doing this athleticism. Lots of jumping and running, and after a session of athleticism, sometimes I'll go in the bathroom and puke because I do so much core work and all my ab muscles just feels like I got hit in the gut, you know? And that's gonna shed the last bit of this fat off. Yep, shed the last bit of this fat off. So, anywho, it's a fun journey, man. It's a fun process. And it's just like anything else. Just like manifesting money, just like manifesting love. It's not the fit body that I'm after. It's a mentality. And my body changes as my mind changes. You know what I mean? Same thing with anything else. Took me forever to figure that out in the fitness. I figured that out on how to manifest love and money, but for fitness manifestation, it took me forever to figure that part out. And I was like, whoa, it's not a fit body I'm looking for. My first year in fitness is just simply dedicated to getting used to this, It's just simply dedicated to, I'm not forcing myself to do this every day. This is just normal. This is what we do. This is just what we do every single morning. Well, I get one rest day throughout the week, but every morning we get up and we go bust ass until we're dripping sweat. That's just what we do. And it hurts and it's painful. And I'm like, that's just what we do. This is just the normal what we do in the morning, That's what the first year was dedicated to. It'll be a year in July, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It's getting to the point to where if I have too many rest days, I go nuts. I go crazy. I'm like, man, I got to get back in the gym. And it's cool to be thinking that way, I like that. How long are my workouts? About an hour. About an hour. Sometimes about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. He has this thing he likes to do where even like on the days when I'm pushing weights and pumping weights, I'll like push until like whatever, like let's say it's push day, for example, he'll have me push and push and push and push until my chest muscles and my arm muscles are completely gassed out. There's nothing left in them. I can't even lift them. I can't even move them. Then he likes to make me go run on the treadmill. And I'm like, I'm still not, I'm still like, ooh, that's hard, dude. That's hard, But man, it's completely rearranging my mentality, period. You know what I mean? Completely rearranging it. So, hula hooping? I could imagine that would. Be some core work there. Yeah, I could imagine. I'm playing with my cards now. I might switch up decks. Horseback riding. Man, I ain't done that since I was a kid. I did that when I was a kid when we went and visited the Grand Canyon. I rode a horse, a little trail in the desert. Man, that hurt my ass so bad. My ass hurt for like 2 weeks after that. That was cool though. How's Leah with my babies? Oh, yeah. She's good. She's transforming too. We are both completely different people now than we were when we first met, And the kids really, really helped. I mean, she was on a path of transforming anyway. And like I was telling her, that's the coolest thing too, because I've been on an evolutionary path since I was 28, I guess, 27, 28. And I'm 33 now. And I was telling her, if you come into my life and at any point in time, you become a part of my life, you have one or two choices. You're either going to evolve or you're going to say bye-bye. Because I'm going this way. I'm evolving, And she's the same way, She had nothing but, we both have a very rough past behind us, A past that's kind of shameful and not nothing to be proud of. We both do. And we linked up making that decision to evolve and grow and whatnot. And the kids have really, really helped kick that into effect for her, big time. Big time. Big time. And she is just like, she's superwoman, dude. I never would have expected in a million years to be able to meet somebody and be with somebody that is that dedicated to being there for my kids. You know what I mean? She is 100,000% dedicated, and I'm just like, damn, that is just a blessing. I thank universe every day for that, One hell of a blessing. One hell of a blessing. Yep. Now I'm gonna get one of my incense cones going. Late to your awakening. I mean, better late than never, That is funny too, because a lot of people haven't begun the process until here very recently. And that's cool, At least it's happening now though. Thank God. At least it's finally happening. Because I mean, I can't say that I was early to my awakening, but I hopped on right at the last minute. I hopped on that train right at the very last minute. I didn't mean to. It just kind of came and found me, you know. It kind of came and found me. I was one of those types of people that see your average person goes crazy when they have a spiritual awakening. They go or any kind of awakening, political awakening, spiritual awakening, any of that. They start going nuts. Wow, wow. I was the opposite. I was nuts until I began to awaken. Oh, okay. Now this whole game makes sense, and I was able to calm down, get my head together, and you know, you see what I'm saying? But it is cool though, because a few years before it was crunch time, let's put it that way. A few years before crunch time, I was one of those people who was really heavily advising, you need to wake your ass up. It's not just cute, it's not just fluffy, you know, it's gonna save your life. One of the things that I learned on my journey from somebody who is very close with people in extremely high places said the same thing. You know, learning to take control of your energy and equalize frequencies is good and all. That's cute. Yeah, you can figure out how to attract a lot of money with it and all this good stuff, but that's just a bonus. You know, doing this and learning these things is going to save your life. There's a lot more that I want to say, but I'm not going to say it on YouTube. But yeah, now it's crunch time. Ain't no joke now. Now it's life or death. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. If you don't have a solid base for your intuition, if you don't know, you can't listen to anything going on out here. You can't listen to any one person and dump all your eggs into one basket. You got to be in here. You and universe. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, you do. If not, one wrong step down one wrong path will lead you straight to death. Now. Oh, yes, it will. Yep. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, that's all I really teach people how to do, is to take that blindfold off and begin that eye popping open process. You know? I know I've said this a million times, but right now, I don't know, I'm kind of feeling a bit of an intuitive nudge to move up closer to the front lines, you know? I'm feeling a bit of a nudge to start making my way up closer to the front lines. But right now, or at least up until this point, my job has not been on the front lines. My job has not been one of those people who are in your face, stuffing the truth down your face, you know what I mean? My job is simply teaching you how to take your blindfold off, open your eyes, and take control of your own frequency. At that point, once you take control of it and you start knowing what's going on in here and feeling it and experimenting with how to control it and move it around and things like that, you'll be led to the truth. You'll be led to safety. You'll be guided, you know, and the rest will come from there, you know? Does that make sense? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Trying to connect to your higher self, but you don't hear answers. No, you're not going to hear it. It can be tough. It can be difficult. That's why there's certain exercises that you can do. We are programmed. We are hardwired to want to look for the evidence. You know what I mean? We're hardwired to do that. To want to look for the evidence. Well, the thing about it is the evidence that we have for anything is nothing but a creation that manifests from our frequency. That's what it is. That's why your beliefs are so powerful. That's why your beliefs are so insanely powerful. And the trick to unwiring yourself from the matrix, from this dimension, and the old system that was put in place, the trick is to be able to maintain a belief with no evidence until you finally see it. That's the trick. I need to be able to maintain my solid belief. I mean, belief that's so intense that there's nothing you can say to change my mind. I know it factually. And maintain that belief for a long, extended period of time. And then you get your evidence. That's the trick. Mm-hmm. And there's a kind of an intricate science that goes into it, you know, kind of an intricate science and a balance process. But yeah, anywho, yeah, I needed to hop on this morning. I didn't do it all last weekend because I was going to the gym all last weekend. I wanted to make up for all the days that I missed when I was out of town in Florida. I'm feeling it too. Oh yeah. No, when I say move on, you know, a lot of people don't really understand that the universe doesn't respond to what your mouth says. The universe doesn't respond to what it looks like you're doing, you know, because a lot of people try to fake it. You know, a lot of people try to fake. The universe responds to what's really happening in your heart and mind, you know. So that's why I say, move on. It may look like you've moved on, but that's not what universe responds to. If you haven't moved on in here, you haven't moved on. It doesn't matter. You can get on a plane and fly to the other side of the world, you know, get a new job, get a new relationship. But if you're still energetically tied in here, don't ever underestimate the universe's ability to manifest that frequency. Mm-hmm. I had to learn that firsthand several times. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's what I meant when I said that. That's what I mean when I say those things. Energetically moving on, yes. Yes, and I always say take it a step further. I always take it a step further than just moving on. I always look to transmute the energy and turn it into a positive. We were talking about that. Somebody on one of my chats, 2 or 3 chats ago, said something like that. Look for how to turn it into something positive, and that's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. It's so funny too because I had one of those Ace of Swords moments the other day where I saw a picture posted on Facebook. I was flipping through Facebook one day and I saw this picture of this person that played a part in order for me to be led to doing this for a living. I experienced a really, really, really intense connection with a person that surprised me, scared the hell out of me, pissed me off. You know what I mean? It was a really intense connection. And during that chapter in life, there was a lot of people who, at the time, were fucking me over, basically, you know, or so it seemed. And there was this one person that played a very specific part. And I saw a picture of this person on Facebook the other day, and I felt that anger. I felt that anger, you know what I mean? Just like my blood boiling, you know, like I'd like to take your head and snap it off your shoulders, you little piece of shit, you know what I mean? And I felt that, you know, I'm a human. I felt it too, you know, that, you know, that happened. And then I put the phone down, I hopped in the shower, and I'm taking a shower, and I'm doing some energy work. And then the light bulb popped on. And I looked around, and I'm like, yeah, but without what that person did, without that, I wouldn't be here. And then it all began to open up and fall off of me. And I was like, wait a minute, that person's one of my soulmates. What that person did to me, they didn't fuck me over. That was one of my soulmates, one of my friends from the other side. And without that thing that person did that made me so goddamn mad that, you know what I mean? I was having violent thoughts. I don't get that mad very often. It takes a lot to push me to that point. 99% of the people in my life have never made me that mad. This person pissed me off that bad. Like I was having violent thoughts, you know? And, but I was like, whoa, but it took that to inspire me to do this for a living. Without that person and the other people involved, I wouldn't be here. And this big smile cracked on my face. And I was like, that's cool. That's fucking cool. And I saw it for the first time, almost like I could see it right in front of my face, how that person was a soulmate, one of my very near and dear soulmates, one of my best friends on the other side that was helping me, you know? And it's pretty cool when you get to see it that way. When you get to look back on something and not only just kind of be over it and be done with it, but be so thankful that it happened that you wouldn't go back and change it if given the chance. And I had one of those moments. This was about a week or so ago. And I had one of those moments. I was like, that's so cool, man. I haven't had one of those moments in a while, you know? But it's just like, this person never posts pictures on the internet. The person, it wasn't even them that posted, because I'm not friends with them on Facebook or anything, but it was somebody that knows this person who posted a picture of them. This person never shows their face on like Facebook and whatnot. And it's almost like universe put that up there to stick it in my face so that I could have that moment of healing, that final moment of, whoa, that's cool though. You know what I mean? See what I'm saying? I'm right there on the boat with you all, man. I'm right there on the boat with you guys. I'm a human too. I'm on the same evolution and awakening and ascension path as you guys, you know? So, yep, you have to change your thinking, yes. Oh, yes, it's very hard sometimes. Yeah, light bulb moment, Ace of Swords moment, yep. Yep, sometimes it is very hard, very, very hard. Very, very difficult, you know? But that's what we gotta do. That's what we gotta do. Yeah, I'm not liking this retrograde either. Ugh. Nope, I'm not digging it. This one's probably, well, I don't know. Leah has a different opinion than me. I could have swore, of course, my memory isn't the greatest all the time, but I could have swore the last retrograde, we were both talking about how it wasn't that bad. And I was just talking to her the other day, and she was saying that she doesn't think this one's really that bad. And she thought the last one was worse than this one. I don't know. I don't know. But to me, the last one didn't really feel all that bad. It was just kind of a little bit annoying, you know. But this one right here, I'm feeling like intense. See, for me, on the really, really, really heavy ones, it feels like I have this internal tug of war going on. Like I'm so tired and I want to lay down and go to sleep, but I'm so wound up and anxious and antsy and want to go do something at the same time. But I feel like I have all these weights, you know, tying me down. And you know what I mean? Like I want to lay down, but I don't want to be laying down. I want to get up and be doing something, but I don't fucking have the energy to get up and do nothing. You know, at the same time, going, both of those energies just ramped up in this, you know, and it's just, I hate it, dude. Can't stand it. And then you're, you know, flipping through the internet and everything on the internet starts screwing up and crashing and going all funky and YouTube glitches every single time. And whew, you know, yeah, this one's a tough one. This one is a tough one. Yeah, yeah, conflicting energy. I mean, it's always conflicting energy for me, really. It's, I don't know. Yeah, it's very conflicting energy. Two different energies going on at the same time, pulling me to do two different things, you know? So sometimes I'll just go ahead and lay down and put some sound waves, some brain waves in my ears and try to go to sleep. And then it feels like part of me goes dead to sleep, and the other part of me is very conscious and aware, you know, and it's weird. Weird. Mercury retrospect, I like that. That's funny. I like that. I'm learning too. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Conflicting energy because of Gemini. In Gemini, maybe, possibly. That's a good thought. That's a good thought. That's an interesting thought. Yeah, I've always said that parents that experience the loss of a child is I take my hat off to you. Take my hat off to you. You know, when I was staying with Tina, you know, she had just lost her 11-year-old son to suicide. She gave me his room. Yeah, y'all remember that? Oh yeah, that was a very intense chapter in my life. You know, very intense chapter. I've never been able to wrap my mind around how, you know, somebody goes through that. Don't want to. You know what I mean? Hats off to you. But if you get to digging into it, a lot of the times, well, with anything, really, with anything, the most intent. There's always, when you experience something very, 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 very traumatic here in this life, you know why, don't you? For whatever reason, for whatever reason, your higher self thinks that you're a badass. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know I can make it, because you're not put through anything that you can't handle. Not really. And your higher self believes, like, I'm a badass. I could go through that, you know. Another one, now this one's kind of trendy, but another one is being involved with a narcissist. That's a big one, and I said something about it on a video the other day. A lot of people say that they have, but those of you who have been involved and been stuck in that glue trap, the real, true narcissist, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about a minute ago. See, for the longest time, I was actually out to debunk it. I didn't believe it. Because, everybody's a narcissist. You ever notice that? Oh, everybody's a narcissist. Everybody gets that label slapped on them, for just, there's so many people out there, oh, you don't get along with somebody, that makes them a narcissist. They got a big ego. You're a narcissist. You don't have any sympathy for me. Oh, you're a narcissist. People just slap that, and this was several years ago. I got to looking into it, and I dove in and did some research. And then they put it on a spectrum. I'm like, oh, that's bullshit. I still to this day don't believe that. I'm not the whole spectrum type of person, not really. But I set out to debunk it, because when I did research at the time, I was like, yeah, I mean, you can pretty much slap a few of these traits on fucking anybody. You know what I mean? But I've never met anybody who fits that full description. I don't believe it. And then I ended up dating my first narcissist. A lot of y'all remember that. Matter of fact, it was the relationship I was in before Leah. The first real narcissist I've ever met in my life. And that was very challenging. Very fucking challenging. But you know what? And it took forever to heal from. And it took forever to fully put my mind back together after being through that. And you come out the other end of that 100 times more evolved than you ever thought you would be. You come out of things like that 10 times more strong than you ever thought. It's like in the little video games back in the 90s, you know what I mean? Where you get to the bonus level and then you jump up 50 levels because you went through the little bonus level. It's like that, It's like a little bonus level. And then if you make it out and you heal properly, you jump up 50 levels in evolution coming out the other side of it, So, you know what I mean? Like, the most challenging things in our lives have the ability to help us evolve when we need it the most, you know what I mean? So yeah. Yep. Oh yeah. See, some people though, they don't. Some people don't. There's a lot of people out there that cling to those things. They'll cling to their traumas. And you can do that if you want. But every time you face a challenge, that is an opportunity to learn and grow. That's actually the success mindset, A lot of people, when you hear that word success, people think of automatically attach materialism to that word, When you just hear the word success, what's the first thing that pops into your mind? Most people, money, Money. A comfortable life, big nice things, a bunch of money, a career that makes a shitload of money, a lot of people liking you. And no, those things are just little bonuses that come along with it if you choose to. Success is a mentality. It's a mentality. Those things make their way into your life as a result of you adapting a certain mentality, and that mentality comes with your perception of challenges. How do you perceive your challenges? How do you react? And then at that point, it goes into what is failure. Failure is also a mentality. It isn't the lack of anything. Failure isn't the lack of anything or something not working out. That's not. Failure and success are both mentalities. They're both a way of perceiving challenges, a way of perceiving obstacles, a way, it's a mentality. You have a success mentality or a failure's mentality. Failure is an illusion. It's an illusion. It doesn't really exist. The only people who fail are the people who give up. That's all there is to it. When you have that success mentality, I'm not going to give up. I'm going to hop on the path towards success. I'm going to hop on the path. And if something doesn't work out the way that I want it to, that doesn't mean I failed. That's an opportunity to take the wisdom that I've extracted from that failure, for lack of a better phrase, and use it. And I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to see what I learned from this process, and I'm going to keep going on that path. That makes sense? There is no failure. It's a mentality. There is no real success either. It's a mentality. Success and failure are not the manifestations of or the lack of anything. It's a mentality, and then the things, either the abundance or the lack thereof, is what manifests as a result of the mentality. See what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying, man? I know I've gone on that tangent a million times, but I don't even really know what the landing point was for that, but yeah. Somebody out there probably needed to hear that. Keep thinking and believing you're successful. Yeah, well, that's here now about that. What we're doing is we're reprogramming our subconscious, okay? There's a part, okay, check this out. Me and you could be, imagine that me and you are at a party. We're at a party, okay? There's music thumping, ooch, 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 ooch. There's all these conversations going on around us, and we're having a conversation. Me and you are talking, okay? Your brain is constantly scanning your surroundings, whether you realize it or not. And it's only picking up on the information that it feels is important. And it sweeps everything else under the rug because it'd be too much to process, And it's constantly doing this. Okay, so me and you are at this party, and we're having a conversation with all this noise going on around us. And on the other side of the room, somebody says your name, and you hear that. You hear that. You weren't listening for it. You weren't looking for it. You've programmed yourself over years and years and years and years and years and years that your name is important. So you hear that. That's what we're working with here, okay? That's what we're working with here. Very subconscious aspects of ourselves, okay? So me, for example, what I had to start telling myself, my favorite thing to tell myself used to be, I'm just not good enough. I'm a piece of shit. I guess I'm just not good enough. I'm a piece of shit. I would tell myself things like that 300, 400, 500 times a day. So that's all that part of me that hears my name would look for, was things that align with me being not good enough and me being a piece of shit without me realizing it. I didn't realize that's what that part of me that scans my surroundings and it was only looking for things that line up with that. See what I'm saying? So I started telling myself, I am successful. And then I would have that little battle, that little argument, because I was working at a car wash, scrubbing cars for tips. Every single day I would walk into work hoping that I was going to make enough tips to eat dinner that night, And I would start telling myself, I am successful. And that would feel real weird and uncomfortable, and man, I ain't successful. Look at me. Anybody that sees me right now will probably think I'm a broke fucking bum, because I am. I am successful. I make 6 figures a year. I make 7 figures a year. I'm successful. And it feels real weird and uncomfortable. But I just started telling myself that. And it felt so funky and so weird. And it was an inner battle. It can cause migraines. You know what I mean? I am successful. I'm successful. I would just start telling myself that all day, every day while I'm scrubbing cars at work. Man, I might have enough to be able to get a double cheeseburger to eat tonight. And that's about it. That's all I made, I am successful. I am successful. And I just kept telling myself this. After about maybe 6 months, between 6 months and a year, somewhere around 6 and 8 months, it started getting easier and easier to say that to myself. That little battle, that argument, that vibrational argument inside of me kind of started to go away, kind of started to stop. And I began to feel, okay, This feels easier. I can believe that I'm, because dude, anybody, not just me, if you would have told them, man, you know how successful Rich Lop is going to be one of these days, they would have laughed at you. They would have laughed at you. They would have made fun of you. No, nobody respected me. Nobody ever thought that I was ever going to amount to anything. So I just started telling myself I am successful. And this is just among many of the practices and techniques that I use, but this is one of the most important ones. And I started going around making friends with the business owners purposely. I'm going to go around and I'm going to become friends with, it just so happened that the town I was living in was so teeny weeny. And the girl I was dating at the time had friends that owned businesses. So I started making it a real strong point to become buddy and become friends with the successful business owners at the shops, because I'm putting myself on this new frequency. And along with that, I started telling myself, I'm successful. I'm like you. I am successful. I'm successful. And right around a year's time, I was able to say that to myself and believe it. And then right around that time is when everything started to change for me. I no longer have to tell myself that all day, every day. I just feel that. I've got that burned into my subconscious mind, and it just kind of says it all by itself. Now that part of me that scans the room, listening for my name or whatever it feels like is important, it's no longer looking for things that line up with, me being a failure, me being a piece of shit, me being, negative things. It's no longer looking for those negative things that I'd programmed it to look for. Now that part of me that scans my surroundings is looking for opportunities for success without me even realizing it, without me even thinking twice about it, because I had to reprogram my mind. I had to reprogram, because the universe has no choice but to keep sending you evidence that supports whatever you believe. You have to change your beliefs. You have to change the way you think. And that's not a fun process. It's not fun at all. It sucks, actually. It sucks. It can give you headaches. It can give you panic attacks. It can give you migraines. But you have to stay at it. People say things like, well, I tried positive thinking and it didn't work. And that's just like a 400-pound man saying, yeah, well, I ate a salad yesterday and I'm still fat. Come on now. That's not the way it works. You have to completely reprogram your mind. And it takes time. So, anywho, yeah. Yep. Gotta get out of here in a couple of minutes, but affirmation and actions, yeah. See, a lot of people when they think of affirmations, they treat it like I'm affirming it to this source that's out here somewhere. No. Affirmations, what you're doing is you're reprogramming your subconscious mind. That's what you're doing. Once you start to reprogram your subconscious mind and your thoughts, you'll start to reprogram your emotional patterns. Once you start reprogramming your thoughts and your emotions, it's like a wheel. A thought triggers an emotion, which triggers a new thought, which triggers an emotion, which triggers a thought, which triggers an emotion. And that is where your behaviors come from. So once you start to change all that, you'll start changing your actions without realizing it. You completely become a totally different person. And yes, they have the ability to scan your brain. They can give you a brain scan. And they can see the new connections that you're forming in your brain by forcing new thoughts over and over and over and over and over. Yep. You have the ability to completely rewire your entire brain with nothing but your own thoughts. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And no, they would really rather you not know that. But you have to stay at it. It's just like fitness, getting up and going to the gym every morning and whatnot, a new diet, you have to stay consistent with it. You can't just, well, I said a few positive thoughts last week. Yeah, I did some affirmations and nothing happened. So, I give up on that. No. That's not the way it works. You don't just say a few affirmations and then $1 million comes and knocks on your door. It doesn't work that way. No, you have to reprogram who you are, reprogram the way you see the world. Completely take your perception, your perspectives, your beliefs, your outlook on life, and chuck it out the window and start reprogramming a completely new way of looking at life. To the point to where it becomes the new you. You start feeling yourself becoming a different person. It can take a while. After about 6 months, you'll start to notice, man, I'm thinking about things differently. I'm looking at things differently. I'm starting to feel like I'm becoming a different person. That's good, because you're supposed to. Then everything else will come after that. Then doorways of opportunity will open, for that successful career. Then the connections, the relationships and the people that you attract into your life will start changing, because you're no longer lining up with those types of people who are on that frequency. Now different types of connections are making their way into your life. New offers and opportunities are being presented to you, because that little part of you that scans your surroundings is not on the frequency that's tuned into those old things anymore. Now it's tuned into different things. Now that's when your life begins to change, and you don't even have to make a change. You have to change what's in here first, and it will do the rest. Trust me. You won't even have to think twice about it. All right. All right. Getting good and fired up for the day. I'm getting hungry too, so. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and hop on out of here, y'all. Appreciate you for helping me wake up. See, we're helping each other. I know there's some of you in here that have heard me say these things 100,000 times, but there's always new faces in here. There's at least one person that needed to hear that, so. And in getting all fired up and ramped up, and I'm fired up for the day now, you know what I mean? But anywho, appreciate y'all for tuning in. I got the June bonuses to finish today. I'm gonna try to think of some kind of all signs video to do. I'm making it a strong point to dump out as much content as I can this month. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'll see you later on the other channel. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.